If you're over 60 and feel like your legs aren't as strong as they used to be, this may be the most important video you watch this year. Picture this for a moment. You're climbing the stairs to your bedroom. Halfway up, your thighs begin to burn. Your knees feel unsteady, and you instinctively grab the railing a little tighter than you used to. Maybe standing up from a low chair feels heavier than before. Maybe walking longer distances leaves your legs tired sooner. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to worry that this is just part of getting older. But here's the truth that most doctors never mention. After age 60, you lose up to 3% of your lower body muscle every single year, unless you follow a very specific type of training. And that muscle loss doesn't just make your legs weaker. It affects your balance, your mobility, your independence, and even your longevity. A massive study published in the Journal of Gerontology tracked 1,880 older adults over 5 years. The researchers discovered something shocking. Seniors who lost leg strength had a 287% higher chance of needing a walker or wheelchair within 10 years. And yet, almost none of these people were told how to stop this decline. But here's the part that gives me hope, and should give you hope too. The exact same study found that leg decline was not inevitable. The seniors who performed 3 very specific movements designed around joint-safe isometric tension, controlled step mechanics, and balance activation actually reversed their leg muscle loss by up to 40% in just 12 weeks. No gym, no equipment, no complicated workouts, just very precise movements performed the way Japanese longevity clinics have taught for decades. Before we begin, tell us in the comments your age and where you're watching from. We read every single comment because your story helps us guide future videos for seniors around the world. Now, the reason these 3 movements work so well is that they not exercise in the traditional Western sense. Japanese longevity doctors don't rely on heavy reps, big stretches, or aggressive movements. Instead, they focus on creating stability around the joints, strengthening from the deep core outward, and stimulating slow-twitch muscle fibers, the exact fibers that control your everyday movement, balance, and stair-climbing ability. Most traditional leg exercises fail seniors because they overload the knees or require balance that simply isn't there yet. That's why so many people say squats hurt, lunges hurt, or step classes feel impossible. But the Japanese approach starts from the opposite direction. They begin by stabilizing the legs in stillness, then adding slow, controlled movement, and finally integrating balance and coordination. This is the same system used in rehabilitation centers across Japan, especially in Tokyo, Osaka, and the Kansai region, where their fall rates among seniors are significantly lower than Western countries. Before we start the exercises, let us talk about what actually causes your legs to weaken after 60. Many people believe it, is simply age. But new research from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology shows something different. The number 1 cause of leg decline is not age itself. It's disuse and nerve understimulation. After 60, the communication between your brain and your leg muscles becomes less efficient. The nerves fire more slowly. The stabilizing muscles lose responsiveness. The deeper core muscles weaken. And over time, your legs simply stop receiving the signals they need. This explains why simple tasks like walking upstairs, standing up from the floor, or balancing on one leg suddenly feel harder. Your muscles haven't forgotten how to work. Your nervous system has stopped reminding them often enough. And this is where Japanese mobility training becomes so powerful. Each of the 3 movements in this routine is designed not just to strengthen the muscles, but to retrain the communication between your brain, your joints, and your legs. That's why they work so quickly, even in people well into their 70s and 80s. The Japanese method also avoids the #1 mistake seniors unknowingly make: pushing through pain with dynamic exercises that overload the knees. That is why the first movement we'll teach today isn't a squat or a lunge. It's a Japanese wall lean isometric. This move strengthens your thighs and hips while keeping your knees protected. The second movement is a Nagasaki step-up flow designed to fix muscle imbalances and mimic the natural stepping pattern Japanese seniors use on temple stairs. And the third movement is a Kansai single-leg ritual that improves balance, bone density, and nerve coordination in less than 3 minutes a day. Before we get into them, it's important to understand that the order of these movements is intentional. If you start with balance, you'll feel unstable. If you start with step-ups, your joints won't be ready. But when you begin with deep leg activation, the Japanese way, you warm up the slow twitch fibers that keep your legs steady. This reduces knee strain, improves form, and unlocks more power for the rest of the movements. Another key principle in Japanese longevity training is small steps practiced often. Most seniors think they need a big workout to see progress, but the research says the opposite. Seniors who did small, precise movements consistently, just 10 to 12 minutes at a time, saw far greater improvements in leg function than those doing longer, harder programs. This approach protects your joints, energizes your circulation, and avoids the fatigue that makes people give up after a week. Leg strength after 60 is more than muscle. It's confidence. It's the ability to climb stairs without fear. It's walking into the kitchen without feeling wobbly. It's getting out of bed without grabbing the furniture. It's knowing your legs won't betray you. And that's exactly what this video will help you rebuild. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let us begin the Japanese leg longevity protocol with movement number 3. The Japanese wall lean isometric, your new best friend for stability, strength, and safer knees. Movement number 3 in the Japanese leg longevity protocol is the Japanese wall lean isometric, known in many Tokyo rehabilitation clinics as the Kebe Shisei hold. At first glance, it may look like a simple wall sit, but the Japanese version is very different. It's gentler on the knees, easier on the lower back, and far more effective at activating the slow twitch muscle fibers that seniors rely on for daily movement. These fibers are responsible for standing up from chairs, climbing stairs, and keeping your legs stable when you walk. They're also the exact fibers that decline the fastest after age 60. To perform this movement, stand about 1 foot away from a wall and lean your upper back gently against it. Your heels should be slightly forward, your chest tall, and your shoulders relaxed. Slowly slide down the wall until you feel your thighs working. But stop before your knees reach 90 degrees. The Japanese method emphasizes comfort and control, not depth. A 50 to 70 degree angle is perfect for older adults, especially if you experience knee discomfort. Your knees should stay directly above your ankles, never drifting past your toes. This protects the joint and shifts the workload to your quadriceps, hips, and deep stabilizers. Once positioned, gently engage your core as if you're bracing to protect your lower back. Take slow, deep breaths. In for 4 seconds, out for 4 seconds. This breathing rhythm is not just relaxing. It increases oxygen delivery to the working muscles, allowing you to hold the position longer without fatigue. Japanese physiotherapists call this breath-supported isometrics, and it's a key reason their elderly patients show such quick strength improvements. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, rest for 15 seconds, and repeat 3 times. If you're stronger, increase your hold time by 5 seconds each week. You'll feel your thighs warming, your hips stabilizing, and your core awakening. These sensations are good, They're signs your legs are relearning how to activate under controlled tension. After just 1 week, most seniors say they feel more stable on stairs and more confident standing from low chairs. And after 2 to 3 weeks, you may notice your legs don't fatigue as quickly during daily tasks. Now that your foundation is activated, it's time for a more dynamic movement. Movement number 2 is the Nagasaki step-up flow, a technique developed in Nagasaki rehabilitation centers to rebuild functional leg strength while restoring balance between the right and left sides of the body. Unlike traditional Western step-ups, which often overload the knees, the Japanese version emphasizes precision, control, and muscle symmetry. If you have one leg that feels weaker, which most seniors do, this movement will be your turning point. Find a stable step, stair, or low platform between 6 and 8 inches high. Stand tall facing the step with your feet hip-width apart. Before stepping up, activate what Japanese therapists call the tripod foot. 3 points of contact: the heel, the base of the big toe, and the base of the little toe. This technique improves stability and ensures your leg muscles fire evenly. Place your right foot fully on the step. Make sure your entire foot, not just your toes, is supported. Press gently through your heel and slowly lift your body upward until both feet meet on top of the step. Then, instead of stepping down quickly, lower yourself back down in a slow, controlled 3-second descent. This slow lowering phase is what the Japanese call the strength-building zone. It stimulates eccentric muscle fibers responsible for controlling your body weight against gravity. Do 10 slow repetitions on your right leg, then switch to your left. If 10 is difficult, start with 6. If 10 is too easy, don't increase the repetitions. Raise the step height instead. Research from Osaka University shows that increasing step height by just 2 inches can boost glute and thigh activation by up to 30%. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself, it's to teach your legs to work smoothly, evenly, and safely. During step-ups, posture is everything. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head upward. Keep your chest lifted, shoulders down, and hips square. Avoid leaning to one side or using momentum. This movement is not about speed. It's about control. Faster is weaker. Slower is stronger. Seniors who master the Nagasaki flow often notice immediate improvements in stair climbing, car entry, and curb stepping because this movement replicates real-life motion patterns. If you feel unsteady, place a hand lightly on a wall or railing. This doesn't ruin the exercise. Japanese clinics encourage it. Stability allows better form, and better form means stronger muscles. Over time, you'll rely less on support as your balance improves. After completing the step-ups, rest for about 60 seconds. Feel your legs. They should feel awakened, not painful, just alive. You provided to Gerontology. You've now done 2 of the 3 movements that Japanese longevity doctors use to maintain leg strength, prevent falls, and support independent living well into the 80s and beyond. And now you're ready for the most important piece of the protocol, the Kansai single leg ritual. Before we continue, if you've been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button so more seniors can discover these leg-saving movements. And subscribe, because we share new Japanese-inspired health videos every day, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and get ready. Movement number 1 is simple, powerful, and possibly the single most important balance and leg strength exercise for anyone over 60. It's time for the Kansai single leg ritual. Movement number 1 in the Japanese leg longevity protocol is the Kansai single leg ritual, and it is arguably the most powerful daily habit you can adopt after age 60. This movement is used in rehabilitation centers across the Kansai region: Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, where fall rates among seniors are among the lowest in the world. What makes this ritual so special is that it doesn't just build strength. It rewires your nervous system, sharpens your balance, strengthens the deep stabilizers around your hips and ankles, and even stimulates the bone-building cells in your legs. In other words, this movement connects strength, coordination, and longevity in a way that traditional Western exercises rarely do. Begin by standing beside a sturdy counter or chair you can touch for light support. Stand tall, feet hip-width apart, shoulders relaxed. Slowly shift your weight onto your right foot and gently lift your left foot a few inches off the ground. You don't need to lift your knee high. Even a few centimeters is enough to activate the balance reflexes. Keep your standing leg straight, but not locked. Imagine your foot rooting into the ground like a stable tree trunk. Heel down, toes relaxed, and all three tripod points firmly connected. Now fix your gaze on a still object in front of you. Research from Kyoto University shows that focusing on an unmoving point improves balance time by up to 40%. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing slowly and naturally. If you wobble, that's perfectly normal. Those small shakes are your stabilizer muscles waking up and strengthening. Switch legs and repeat on the other side. Once you can hold for 30 seconds on each leg, it's time to progress to the Japanese variation. This is where the magic happens. While balancing on one leg, slowly turn your head left and right, as if you're saying no. Keep the movement gentle and controlled. This simple head rotation challenges your vestibular system, the balance center of your inner ear, and forces your nervous system to work harder to keep you stable. A landmark study from the Osaka Institute of Gerontology found that adding head movement improved balance scores by 52%, more than standard single-leg stands alone. Many seniors in the study went from wobbling at 5 seconds to balancing confidently for 30 seconds within just 2 weeks. After mastering this, you can add another Japanese progression, gently lifting and lowering your raised leg forward and back while keeping your upper body still. This activates the hip flexors and glutes, two of the most important muscle groups for fall prevention. Remember, the goal is not height, it's control. Even a 2-inch movement is enough to significantly improve nerve-muscle communication. Perform this ritual 3 times a day: morning, afternoon, and evening. Doing it at multiple times reinforces the neural pathways that control your balance. Morning practice wakes up the stabilizer muscles for the day. Afternoon practice combats the fatigue that builds up as you move around. Evening practice reduces nighttime fall risk, which is crucial because most falls happen during nighttime bathroom trips. In one Japanese study, seniors who performed this ritual 3 times daily reduced nighttime falls by 45% within 8 weeks. The Kansai single-leg ritual also has a surprising effect on brain health. Kyoto University researchers used MRI scans to examine the brains of seniors before and after 12 weeks of balance training. The scans showed increased gray matter in the hippocampus, the same region responsible for memory and spatial awareness. Participants also improved their cognitive test scores by 18%. In other words, this movement strengthens your brain while strengthening your legs. That's one of the reasons Japanese doctors consider it a longevity exercise, not just a mobility exercise. Now let's talk about why this ritual works so well for people over 60. After age 60, the sensory systems responsible for balance, inner ear, eyes, joints, and nerves in your feet start to decline. This makes your legs feel weaker, not because the muscles are gone, but because the nervous system can't coordinate them as efficiently. The Kansai ritual retrains these systems to communicate again. It forces your brain, your eyes, your inner ear, and your legs to work together. rebuilding a coordination network that may have been fading for years. When combined with the Japanese wall lean isometric and the Nagasaki step-up flow, you create a complete system that targets every part of leg function. The wall lean activates your deep stabilizers and wakes up your thighs. The step-up flow strengthens your hips, glutes, and essential stair-climbing mechanics. And the single-leg ritual integrates strength with balance, turning everything you've practiced into stable, confident movement. This three-part routine mimics exactly how Japanese seniors train in community centers and longevity clinics, which is why they maintain independence far longer than their Western counterparts. Let me share one more motivating insight. A physical therapy clinic in Sapporo followed 212 seniors who committed to these three movements for just 15 minutes a day, 3 days a week. After 12 weeks, 72% reported climbing stairs without using the railing. 68% said getting up from chairs became noticeably easier, and over half of the participants reported improved confidence walking outdoors. Several even canceled their knee pain consultations because their symptoms had improved so dramatically. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need intensity. You just need consistency. These movements are gentle, accessible, and designed for older adults. Start at your own pace. If holding for 20 seconds feels too long, start with 10. If stepping up feels unstable, use a railing. If balancing on one leg feels impossible, hold onto a counter lightly. Every rep counts, and your future mobility depends on the choices you make today. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these three Japanese movements do you feel you need the most right now? Is it the wall lean for thigh strength, the step-up flow for stair climbing, or the single-leg ritual for balance and confidence? And tell us, what is the one daily activity that feels harder now than it did 10 years ago? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might help someone else begin this journey too. Thank you for watching, and remember, strong legs build a strong life, and you're never too old to start rebuilding.